right, and we're just gonna close out with somebody who was a teacher to some of the Bronx 120. Today is the 1-year anniversary of that huge mega raid in Eastchester Gardens in the North Bronx, and we wanted just to have a connection to some of the young people that today are in federal prison. And this is Cynthia.
Hey everyone. All right. How you doing? So a year ago today, 120 boys were arrested, and there were 700 officers, including INS and including the feds. But during those raids, one of my students had fell from a window. Now they say that he fell, but we know how things go when the police officers and feds are involved when it comes to our Black and Latino boys. So a year ago today, out of the 120, 12 of those boys I taught. And according to the indictment, they were watching those boys when I was teaching them, which was in middle school. During that time, I taught Romali Graham. Romali Graham was student with the boys who were arrested in the 120. The boy who fell to his death, he was also one of Romali Graham's great friends. So, we have a plethora of boys who are being preyed on because Black lives do matter. It matters for their pockets. Yes.
That's right.
Black lives do matter because Black boys are wanted, and they are wanted alive so that they can be in prison. So we need to stop mass incarceration. We need to look at the indictments. Look at the date of the indictments. How are you watching someone at the age of 12 and don't arrest them until they turn 21? What are you doing? Instead of you putting money into the schools to make sure that you don't see them at the age of 21, you put money into surveillances so you can watch them from the age of 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then arrest them. So we see what you're doing. We know what you're doing. So a lot of those boys are under conspiracy charges. Some of them were just finished court. They are now in federal prison. They got 6 years. One of the boys on the list, his name is Ricardo Stewart. Ricardo Stewart was a boy who should have been a scientist. But instead he was preyed upon. Those boys in the 120, they should be lawyers, they should be doctors. They should be scientists. They should be investigators. But instead, they sit behind bars because they are worth more behind bars than they are in the educational system. So, I'll leave you with this. We have to make sure that we look at those indictments because those indictments are showing that they have been preying on our sons, Black and Latino, from the age of 12. I am one of those persons that live in Westchester County, and I'll be damned if you're gonna watch my boy from the age of 12 till he turned 21 and not intervene and do something that needs to be done. We need to change what's going on right now. Not tomorrow, not the day after. We need to change what's going on right now. If there's any lawyers who's watching this, we need you pro bono. Yes. To make sure that you come in. Yeah. And you get them 120 boys and the dudes from grant projects. Get them out. And we're going to teach them. And we're going to make sure that they're scientists, that they're lawyers, that they're doctors, that they're the kings that they're supposed to be. Thank you. Thank you.
I'm Greg Lassiter, and welcome to 30 Frames a Second. We have a big show for you today, as you've seen. That was about the 120 gentlemen that were arrested in the project in the Bronx. But we'll talk more about that. Don't go anywhere. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Good evening, everyone. Nicholas Hayward Sr. I'm the father of 13-year-old honor student Nicholas Jr. He was murdered by NYPD on September 24, 1994. These raids didn't just start today.
This is something that's been going on for years, decades. In 1993, when Nicholas was 12 years old, he was falsely arrested by NYPD in the Gowanus houses. A group of police came running into the Gowanus houses chasing the youth. One of the youth came running over in our direction, and the officer tackled that youth right in front of me, Nicholas' mother, and my sister. We had a little dog that started barking. The officer pulled out his gun and pointed it at us and said, "Get your dog off and shoot him." I grabbed the dog and brought it in the house. I came back out. This same officer walked back over to us, pointed that gun in Nicholas' face. Remember, he was 12 years old. We didn't do absolutely anything. We're just standing there observing what was going on. They arrested Nicholas that day, took him to the precinct, put him in the lineup. I mean, that was such a painful act. Nicholas's character at the age of 12, he was very knowledgeable about the corruption of this system. He was very knowledgeable about the history of America. And he was very outspoken. And when he was in that precinct, he kept telling the police he didn't do absolutely anything. The police told him if he don't shut his mouth, they're gonna stick this gun up his butt and pull the trigger. They also told Nicholas that he would not live to be, because his mouth, the way he was speaking, he said he wouldn't live to be 15. The very next year, they murdered Nicholas. Nicholas was playing the game of cops and robbers with some youth. They all had plastic, colorful toy guns. None of the guns looked at anything close to a real gun. Then in office with Brooklyn District Attorney Charles Hines, who failed to indict. This is another thing we need to understand. There's no investigations going on against these damn police.
That's right.
The only thing they doing is covering up.
That's right.
Covering up for these damn police to get off. The police are the real criminals out here. That is something we need to understand. NYPD are criminals. They attack the poor and people of color. And if you understand and know the history of America, you will know that they are all corrupt. Every last one of them standing out here around us. Especially the black and Latino police officers.
Yes!
They should be ashamed of their damn self, knowing all of the struggles that our ancestors have been through in order for them to even hold a job that they are holding right now.
Sure.
It was because of our ancestors fighting their struggles as to why a black cop is a cop, why a black elected official is an elected official. Our ancestors fought, died, and struggled for us. And we must continue that fight and that struggle. Thank you.
I will not abrogate my right to defend the United States under any circumstance.
The host, of course, Greg Lasseter, here with no other than the great Nat Wood.
Just your television set, you are fortunate enough to have tuned in to 30 frames a second.
You have spun that into the fact where the victim is now the perpetrator and the perpetrator is now the victim. And that just drives me crazy.
Welcome back. As you know, I'm Greg Lasseter here as a host of 30 Frames a Second. Of course, my other half, I guess my better half, no, my other half, Nat Wood, the creator of 30 Frames. Nat, what's going on, buddy?
No, which half is talking?
Either half is good.
Right,
Either half is great, right? What's going on, Nat? How are you, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Brother, the 100 was 120.
Yeah, 120.
But see, people don't understand about how these raids go down.
Yeah.
With the INS,
Yeah.
you got the INS, you got NYPD, you got the feds, you got ICE, you got all these people that will just prey on a project.
Right. Right.
Whether you did anything or not,
Right. Right.
if you're there, you're getting scooped up.
Right. Right.
Now,
Right.
if you committed a crime
Right.
or you sold drugs
Right.
and I know you,
Right.
but I didn't say anything. I didn't sell drugs.
Right.
They're gonna hit me with a conspiracy charge.
Right, right. And the majority of these charges are conspiracy charges.
Those are bogus charges.
And when you live in the community, you know everyone in the community.
Right.
You talk to everyone in the community. And it's a very complicated issue because the issue of gangs and drugs is a legitimate issue.
Oh, absolutely, right.
But a lot of times, when law enforcement comes on this level,
Right.
there's a multitude of issues that are
correct.
going on.
Right.
And one of the most dominant issue is the issue of gentrification and land grabs.
Absolutely, because here's what happens, I think, Nat. Now, if your mom lived in the project and you lived with your mom
Right.
or grandmother or whatnot, now, what happens is they get all the black and brown
Right.
young kids, teenagers, 21, 20-something year olds.
Right.
Now, I've got you on a conspiracy charge,
Right.
which now you're a criminal. You're considered a criminal.
Correct.
So what happens then? They're going to take your mother or grandmother has to move.
Right.
So
right,
therefore,
right.
that whole black and brown community is not black and brown
Especially
anymore.
poor communities where a lot of mothers and grandmothers live in public housing.
Right.
And
Public housing, I'm sorry.
And what is happening? What we used to call a project.
Right. Public housing. Yeah. NYCHA.
Right. Well, yes, NYCHA, but most of the projects
Right.
were like designated for poor people.
Right. Absolutely. Right. Especially
Poor
the
and
ones in New
working
York.
poor.
Well, yeah. Right.
What is happening now is a lot of those places that used to be public housing, even those housing that was not specifically designated for poor and working poor,
Right.
was certainly designated for working middle class.
Right.
Like Stuyvesant.
Right, Stuyvesant Town. Right, Stuyvesant Town. That's right. And Stuyvesant
right.
Town, if you guys don't know, Stuyvesant Town is this huge apartment complex that's down on the Lower East Side, almost Lower East Side. That it's not public housing because those are really nice, but it's rent control.
Rent control.
And it's almost sits on the river for the working middle class.
Right.
Where,
like teachers and nurses and
where you can get now a two bedroom for under $4,000.
Right.
That's considered a bargain.
Right.
So now you look at Manhattan's public housing.
And they were cooperatives.
Co-ops, that's right.
Right.
They're co-ops. You're
right,
absolutely right.
right,
My mistake. Now, if you look at Manhattan's public housing, okay, uptown, Upper East Side, First Ave, from 95 all the way up to 125th.
Right.
And you go up 3rd Avenue, public housing. Madison Park Avenue public housing doesn't start until 97.
Right.
All right?
Right.
Now, go to Madison Avenue. Prime real estate is right across the street from Mount Sinai.
Right.
Those are public housing.
Right.
There's 1, 2, 3. There's about 10 buildings up there.
Right. That's Central Park. That's
right.
beyond prime housing. That's super rich.
You're a block from Central Park.
Correct.
Now, that is prime real estate.
Correct.
And now I saw a raid up there a couple weeks ago. I was up there where the feds, everybody came in.
Right.
And now, don't take this the wrong way, but there's something drastically wrong when I start seeing white people in public housing.
Well, that's the thing, and that's a phenomenon that's happening more and more all over the city.
Right.
It used to be that they would gentrify like tenement housing.
Right.
And they would build luxury housing. Now they're gentrifying existing public housing.
Right. So it's not going to be public housing anymore.
Correct.
They're
It's going to be condos.
They're going to be condos or co-ops.
Or co-ops.
They're going to turn them into co-ops. They're going to go in.
Well, they want to turn Stuyvesant Town into condos.
Right.
They're already co-ops.
Right.
They want to get those people out.
Right. That's exactly right. And turn them into co-ops so they can turn them into condos.
And the condos
where
so they can sell them for millions of dollars.
Because Stuyvesant Town sits on the river.
Right.
Sits on the river. And people don't understand, Manhattan is prime real estate. I don't care where you are.
Correct. Let me give you some perspective. Where I live, and I live in what is now called the East Village.
Right.
tenement, old tenement houses, and the East Village, the Lower East Side, are tenements that were built like turn of the century.
Right.
A tenement apartment will go for $1 million. So,
that's crazy.
but this is Manhattan.
Right,
And it's
it's
turning
Manhattan.
that way
Right.
in Brooklyn. It's going
Brooklyn
to
is
be
that
like
way,
that
yeah.
in the Bronx.
Right.
All of New York is turning into this thing. And it was the exact same procedure. If you think of the Lower East Side in like the 80s,
Right.
when they burnt out all the
Right.
property,
It looked like
and
like
it
the
was
Bronx.
graffiti, and they
Right.
tell you that filled it up with crack. Right.
They
They
look
look
like
just
LeBron, like
alike.
LeBron. Yeah,
They
right.
did-
Right. You could,
right.
if you put them side by side,
You couldn't tell the difference.
You couldn't tell the difference.
Right. They said the squeegee man was the worst creature that ever lived.
And all he was trying to do was make a living.
Right. The people who sold oil
Right.
or anything on the streets, they got rid of all of those people. They got rid of the kids that drew the graffiti on the walls.
Right.
But they didn't make it better for your mother and your grandmother because they got
They wanted to get 'em-
ultimately they got rid
out.
of them too.
Yeah, right.
You
That's
know.
where gentrification came in.
That is
right.
correct. That is
Gentrification means
correct.
minorities get out.
That's right.
And that's unfortunate because the Lower East Side,
right.
that's where that's one of the most sought after neighborhoods to live
Right,
in. You know,
right,
I live on the Upper
right.
East Side, but everybody's cool and hip.
Right.
That want to live. They want to either live down in the East Village
Right.
or Greenwich Village.
Correct.
So you're downtown. You
Correct.
got the best of both
Correct.
worlds.
Correct.
You can walk across the
Correct.
avenue.
Correct.
And walk across
Correct.
Houston. You're in Greenwich Village.
Right,
So
right.
so that's the best. That's
Right,
you got
right.
it. You got it all.
Right.
So there's not too many minorities now.
No. If you left and moved somewhere else,
You're not coming back. You can't afford to come back.
You can't afford to come back. You can't afford to come back. Conservative rent estimates is gonna cost you $3,000 a month.
Easy. For one bedroom.
Right, for one bedroom.
And see,
One bedroom.
you guys don't understand. Living in New York is one of the most expensive places, if not
Right.
the expensive
Right,
place to
right,
live
right,
in the country.
right.
Where on the Upper East Side, where I live,
Right.
a one bedroom starts at $3,200.
Right,
Now,
right.
when I say one bedroom,
Right,
we're talking
right.
maybe 650 to 700 square feet.
Yeah, like one bedroom.
One bedroom.
right.
Where anywhere else for that amount of money, you could rent a 7-bedroom house.
You could get
You see what I'm
right, a
That's the
mansion
market.
in some places.
Yeah, in Atlanta for $3,000, you live in a gated community.
Right. The money you spend in rent in Manhattan, you could go to a place like North Carolina and live like a king.
Okay,
you know.
But the real estate, Nat, the real estate in general, to buy a one bedroom, 700 square feet on the Upper East Side. Upper East Side started at 61st, all the way up to, I said 80, 88, 89, from 1st to 5th. All right?
Right.
Okay?
Right.
A one bedroom starts at $700,000, $800,000.
Correct. There is a wholesale war on poor and working people.
Right.
That is just full blown now. Veronica, we're gonna show when she gets it ready. We're gonna show you a clip from a trailer from one of the
Film
movies that's at the People's Film Festival this year.
Right.
And then taking the Bronx 120.
Right.
Nicholas Haywood.
Right.
The fact that Paul Ryan is at a charter school in Harlem today. Right.
Of all people,
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan.
The passing of the health care bill. We're going to really get into the war that's being waged on poor and working class people, especially struggling working class people, and their communities,
Right.
the education system, and what it's doing, and what some of our strategies will have to be going forward.
Right.
So
let me talk about the film festival.
yeah.
This year, guys, the 6th Annual People's Film Festival opening night, the red carpet opening night is June 1st. We have, and that's at the Magic Johnson Theater in Harlem, okay? But there's a pre-fest kickoff that starts May 31st, so that's when the actual film festival starts. And the MC, Master of Ceremonies, is yours truly. Yours truly. I am happy to announce that because of the work that 30 Frames has put in, we have been nominated for what they call the Ulis Award. And the Ulis Award is the Public Media Awards of Excellence.
Right.
And we're in the category of informative talk show.
Right.
Hopefully we'll win, because if we win, I'll stick the award here so everybody could see it.
Well, one of the good things about the nominations is they have a lot of excellent, really well produced, well thought
Awesome.
shows that are up.
Right.
So when you have legitimate competition,
Right.
and you pride yourself in the quality of your work.
That's everything. Quality is everything.
The award means something.
Right,
You
right.
know, it doesn't mean as much if everything that you're running against is crap.
Right. But we're up against some incredible.
We're hell of a show.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
Yeah.
and when Veronica is ready, she can just roll it, and we'll start talking. If you want to, you can tell me on the teleprompter
Okay.
too.
But
just
this
let
year-
me know when you're ready, and we'll show you the
Okay.
trailer.
And the after party is at a place called Chai Wally's, which is on Lenox
Right.
and 127, 28.
Right.
So guys, if we would love, she can't open the internet. We would love for you to show up tonight.
We're having internet problems. I don't know why
We would love, it starts May 31st. And you can go to thepeoplesfilmfestival.com
Right.
to buy tickets.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, Nat and I have been doing this for 6 years
Yeah.
at the film festival. It's a great time.
We're gonna.
You got the red.
We're gonna keep trying to get this up, but if we can't get it up,
Right.
in the weeks that come,
Yes.
leading up to
the Film
People's
Festival,
Festival,
Veronica will
we'll
come on.
find a way.
Right.
I don't care if we have to put it on DVD or
Right. We'll get it. We'll
on
get
a
it.
hard drive.
Right.
We'll get it. We'll get it on there.
But now let's
because
get-
it's a hell of a trailer.
Yeah, it's I can't wait to see it because I haven't seen it yet. But Nat, let's get back to what is happening in our community. Our community, even in public housing, where are these people? See, their strategy, the government's strategy, is to retake the public housing for the working class.
That is correct. That is correct. Especially in New York, where almost all of politics falls under the auspices of the real estate industry.
Absolutely.
You can't get elected dog catcher without the support of the real estate industry.
Right, 'cause if you
in
don't,
New York. Right,
you're
right,
done. It's a wrap.
Right.
Right.
And this is the problem. This is the problem that I have with De Blasio.
Right.
De Blasio is so in bed, not embedded, in bed
Right.
with the real estate industry itself, that it is very, very difficult to take him seriously as some sort of progressive Democrat.
But you know what? He bamboozled. I don't know why we, as African Americans, get bamboozled by somebody like him, because he shows his black wife
Right.
and his black son with the afro that we think that's acceptable because he's down with us.
Right.
And that is a misnomer, and it's a lie. You
I'm
know?
not. See, I don't know how sincere he was going into the job. So I won't say that we were. It might have all been a gigantic con from
the start.
From the start,
I
and a
felt
lot of
that.
people believe that. A
I
lot of
believe
people.
that. I believe that.
I withhold judgment on that because I have seen others corrupted by the money and power, especially.
Giuliani.
Well, no, Giuliani was a dirty dog. He was born a dirty dog. you know,
Still a dirty dog.
Yeah, right. He's worse now. He's like a troll up under the bridge,
Seriously.
ransoming your babies if you don't say his name backwards or something. Yeah.
But New York, you're right, Nat. You got to get, in order to be any kind of politician
Right.
in New York. I remember running for council on the Upper East Side.
Right.
It's a big joke.
Right.
It was a total joke because if you don't get the nod, you're not getting anywhere.
The Lower East Side, what is now the East Village, and this is literally where the whole gentrification movement started.
Right.
The squatters movement, just the whole thing, the burnt down houses. This is where it all started. And from then it moved to places like Harlem and further into Manhattan.
Right.
I remember Margarita Lopez.
Right.
When she first came, was a district counselor. I remember Pagan, I forget his first name.
I know who you're talking about. Spanish guy.
Right, Puerto Rican dude. Right. The prospect of this kind of money and this kind of power, we might be able to get that film. So I'm just going to finish my thought, and then we're going to try this again because this is a powerful, powerful trailer.
Okay, I'm still here. It's called I'm Still Here.
I'm Still Here.
Okay,
called.
1 second. Let's finish your thought.
But Margarita Lopez, when she first came to the Lower East Side and she was district counselor, Armando Perez, who was murdered in Queens, cultivated Margarita Lopez. Margarita Lopez couldn't even speak English. She was right out of Puerto Rico. She wasn't socialist. She was damn communist.
Right.
I mean, literally,
Right.
she was a communist, lesbian, a fiery speaker. She ended up in the city council.
Right.
Representing the East Village.
East Village, right. Lower East Side then, right.
When she left the city council, she ended up heading housing. And with that, it gave her money and power and prestige. So now, if you fast forward, the Margarita Lopez of today, the Margarita Lopez that ruled housing and had access to millions of dollars and power and prestige is not the same Margarita Lopez who came in on a donkey and couldn't speak English, you know, and was in the middle of her own community, bolstering her and holding her up every step of the way. So I'm reluctant to say what de Blasio's intention was going in, but I know what he has become. And what he has become is
a patsy.
An adversary
of public housing. He did
of poor people, of poor and working people.
He bamboozled people into thinking that he was about fair housing.
Right. He wants to build all luxury housing. He wants to use. He turned a nursing home into a condominium. He wants to. Restructure HDFC so that he can somehow make them the brunt of his quote unquote low income housing program, affordable housing program, which is BS.
Right. But affordable housing to him is $2,000 a month in rent.
Also, you want to take opportunity for poor people who had no opportunity, and use that. So that you can continue giving all sorts of luxury housing breaks to the super affluent.
Right.
You know.
That's right. Now, with that said, Nat, before we show this, I want to continue what the solution is.
Right.
Here's what I think the solution should be. If you live in public housing, and your kids are living with you, grandma, whatever, abide by the rules, and not give them a reason to push you out. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
If you're selling drugs, they know you're selling drugs. Stop. Because what's going to happen, inevitably, who you live with, your mother or your grandmother, is going to get tossed out.
When Veronica's ready, let's roll this thing. And then I want to come back to solution of some of this.
This is a short that we're going to have an opening night called I Am Still Here.
Layla, Christian, get over here. I can't keep my eye on both of you running in different places.
Are you okay? I can't find my dog. I can help you look for him.
There he is. Where?
He's into the car. Can you see him? I don't see.
That was deep.
There's a longer version of the trailer, but the movie itself is deep, and it highlights some of the issues that confront us, that dictate that we operate in a very different way than we've been operating. Like I said, there is a war, an active war that's going on. We're having some sort of internet issue. There's an active war that's going on against black and people of color, but black and brown
Puerto
people,
Ricans, right?
In all aspects of the term. Immigration wars that's going on. There's an issue of black girls being
that nobody's talked about. Just
nobody has talked about.
Washington D.C. alone. Washington D.C. alone had over 21 African American women that got missing. That it didn't get media.
Correct. Which means that we have come to a point now when there is no place to run, no place to hide. We're going to have to look inside ourselves to be our own Superman.
Right. Take care of our community.
We're going to have to take care of ourselves.
Right.
We're going to have to up our game back to the point of where we were operating before we thought that He-Man had saved us. We're going to have to up our own education system. One of the problems with the education system is that we have been lulled into a false sense of security in that a lot of us believe that a college education, if you just get these letters behind your name, that somehow that you will after that live a utopian life,
and
that it is a
you'll
panacea.
ride off into the sunset.
Not
gonna happen.
And we are a lot of times we are producing a generation, even those generation who that generation who has gone through college are coming out with no skills and no abilities.
Moving back home.
Right. Because they have no skills and no abilities. Now I'm not anti-college. I'm not saying don't go to college. But I am saying the reason for college is knowledge. Not just because you think if you get a degree, the white man gonna give you a job.
No, because there's too many people out there like you.
And stop hoping that the white man gonna give you something. You know that all you gotta do is
show up.
Show up, and you got your little diploma in your hand. The white man is gonna give you something.
No.
One of the things that I am proud about, the things we do, is that everything that we do requires that you come with a certain skill set.
Absolutely.
Everything is done in-house. Everything. There's nothing.
We have to sub out.
That's right. That's right.
Our clique.
That's right.
Somebody knows how everything.
Everything.
See,
all the editing is done in-house. The music is done in-house. The videos were shot in-house.
See, that's controlling your own media.
That is correct. That is correct.
And that's what you have to do. I tell people that all the time. You need to control everything you do.
Correct.
So there's no reason why somebody can say, you know what, get out.
Correct. And because you lose a job, see, I can lose a job, but it ain't gonna break me. It ain't gonna break me. You know, cause if I had to, I could play music. I could play the piano in the damn street, and somebody gonna give me a bucket full of money.
That's the way I feel.
I can fix your toilet.
That's the way
I can
we got marketable skills.
Right.
We can take our skills that we have here and go to NBC.
That is correct.
We can go to any network.
That is correct.
Just because we are producers.
I'm not going to live in a hovel because I can turn any hovel into luxury, into a castle. You know?
Seriously. And people, that's what we always say. You can control what happens to you.
Right.
You don't have to rely on the man.
Correct, correct.
See,
correct,
that's what I love.
Correct.
We're going to go back and see
Correct,
this trailer,
correct.
the whole trailer
Oh,
of,
yeah.
of I Am Still Here.
It's an amazing, amazing product.
Take it away, Veronica.
Yeah, that was
good.
a bite of the People's Film Festival.
The trailer
but
of
you
everything.
see the quality of the stuff that people are bringing, and they're bringing it from all over the world.
But let me tell you, I Am Still Here, just a little trailer we
Right.
saw, was shot beautifully.
It was.
And these are independent producers.
It was.
It was shot beautifully. Everything that we had seen at the film festival in the last 6 years, these films, there was a woman a couple years ago, I remember interviewing her. She shot her movie on an iPhone.
Right.
Remember that?
Right.
It was shot beautifully.
Right. But it's not the technology that I am most impressed with. It's the pride in the work that people are producing.
Right.
That people are taking the time to take pride in what they do, and it is showing up in the quality of the work that they produce.
Absolutely. You would not think some of the stuff we've seen, these were shot by not big studio houses.
Correct.
They're shot by people like you and me.
As I see what people are doing, first of all, the Hollywood complex has literally forced us to produce our own
stuff.
product,
Right. And
the product,
release it.
and
release it.
Right. Look for alternative means to release stuff, different ways to do stuff, and as a result, those who are really serious, those who take pride in what they do. Not I'm proud because I was Phi Beta Booty or whatever the hell that was, but pride in what I present to the world, that I have to hone my skills and get it to a level where I have something to offer, that I'm not just like concerned with bamboozling people and making money, that I legitimately want to produce something of value.
Value and quality.
And quality. I am so heartened by what I see people doing.
You know,
I want to congratulate Brick Arts TV in Brooklyn, who picked up two Emmy Awards.
Oh,
a public access center that picked
Tony
up
Riddle,
two.
my man.
You're
Tony,
the man. You're the man. You're the man.
I love that. Hey, look, if only.
But it's access. Access is supposed to make the airwaves available to the people.
That's right.
It's not supposed to dictate what the people do, but it's supposed to It's supposed to make it available to the people
and let them
correct.
Go forth
And
with
if you do it right, if you really do it right and make it available right, people will produce some incredible stuff, but you got to do it right.
But you know what? That's what. Now you and I had this conversation earlier, and see, when you have public access, what we do here, this is the best place. I'm in Midtown Manhattan.
Correct.
This is Midtown Manhattan.
Correct.
People in communication, they aspire to be a reporter or a host on in New York.
Right.
We're sitting in $1 million place. Couple $1 million place.
Right.
Where all you have to do is become certified.
Right.
Once you become certified, then you get to make your own stuff.
Right.
See, I think we have the only thing where you and I differ is, because we're used to quality. Because everything we do is it doesn't. It goes a lot of stages.
It's second nature. It's not even a conscious thing.
We just do it.
Right. It's the only life I know.
Right. It's all about everything we do is quality.
Right.
But some of the things that I've seen, even though having public access, it gives you the freedom to do whatever you want. I always thought it should be some compliance. But that would be, when I say compliance, you are working with
you have to get certified. So you have to comply to the degree that you know enough not to break their equipment.
Right. But they don't teach you about quality.
Well, they can't. There's certain things that college can't. College can't teach you creativity.
Right.
College can't teach you pride in what you do.
Right.
College can do a lot of things. College can
College actually
tell
just
you,
conditions you to work 9
it
to 5.
conditions you.
That's all it does.
Conditions you.
That's all it does.
It can tell you that Union Square Park, the first
Right.
the first time they had an anti-war demonstration in
Was
Union Square was
blah, blah, blah.
1861.
Right.
After Fort Sumter.
Right.
You could learn this
that.
in college.
You can learn that on your own.
You can learn that on Google.
Right.
I can ask my team. Right. They have some stuff on Facebook.
Who's Phaedra? Who's Phaedra?
So I just went to Google that. Who the hell is Phaedra? You know. But we are fast becoming a world. Technology is allowing us to learn in all different sorts of ways.
Yep.
The stuff that I do now wasn't even available with my,
back in the day, yeah, we had 8mm, 16mm cameras, but the technology today is unbelievable.
Right.
But I think Veronica has found the actual People's Film Festival trail. Veronica, you can run it if you're ready.
Yeah, you're a pilot. When I was a kid, I get in the plane and they crank the plane. All right, let's look at it.
Layla, Christian, get over here. I can't keep my eye on both of you running in different places.
Are you okay? Thank you. I can help you look for him. There he is. Where? He's under the car. Can you see him? I don't see.
Just got a call about a girl who was left for dead. They think she's a victim of child trafficking.
Another one?
This is your new sister, Layla.
I'm Detective Amy Walker. I know you can't talk now, but you will.
Today's a very special day for you. Layla, say hello to Mike.
The more time we lose on this, the colder the trail will be to catch whoever did this to you.
Come with me.
What?
Layla, he'll kill you if you stay.
He took a sweet, innocent, trusting little girl and changed her.
That was beautifully shot. That is going to be the feature film on opening night at the People's Film Festival. The opening night of Red Carpet is June 1st at the Magic Johnson Theater in Harlem. Guys, it's incredible. It's going to be an incredible.
And we're not talking fantasy. We're talking about current events, right?
Yeah, real.
And this is what we're up against. This is the kind of stuff that we're up against. And we are going to have to, we are now required more than ever before to step up our game and show who we really are.
That's exactly right.
We used the phrase a couple of weeks ago, I think I used the phrase, we have become acclimated to acquiescence.
Right,
we got to stop that.
Right.
We got to stop that.
Right, I agree.
We are too great, too talented, and too proud to go out like that.
Not, you know, when I'm in town, I'm in town and I'm walking around living on the Upper East Side. What kills me is that our young black and brown young people, the N-word.
Right.
I don't know what it will take for people to understand the N-word. The N-word, that's not a cool word under no circumstances.
It's not just the word. It's the fact that we have a generation, we have more than one generation because we have older generations trying to be like that generation because that generation...
Right, I hear it every day.
Right. The problem is that we have completely lost respect for ourselves. And it gives the entire world an excuse not to respect us.
Right.
You have policemen, you have political people. Yeah. They go on tirades with this stuff, and then they'll say something. Well, I didn't say the one with the ER. I said the one with the AA, with the A, right? You know, I mean, they are justifying.
But that's the most retarded thing I've ever seen in my life.
Again. I'll say this over and over again. What white people think is irrelevant.
Right.
We are going to have to respect ourselves and love ourselves enough that no matter what white folks want, because white folks, they really have always had a love of dysfunctional Negroes.
Right, making a mockery of themselves.
Making a mockery of themselves
right.
on stage.
Right.
They've always loved that.
Right.
So there is a reward for that, but we are going to have to up our game to a place where we are a force to be reckoned with.
But we've always been a force to be reckoned with.
Until
we got watered down.
Correct.
We got watered down.
Until very recently.
Being watered down means that we have just lost all sense of self.
Correct.
All sense of pride.
Correct.
All sense of not even knowing our history.
Right.
And if you don't know from where you came,
correct.
You don't know to where you're going.
And not just because there's a lot of professors who teach African history in college.
Right.
And they talk about Egypt and they talk about Kemet. And they make it seem like after we got here, after we were brought here on the Middle Passage, we somehow lost all our pride, our composure. That's not the case.
No. Because look at what, not to cut you off now, look at what in the 50s, where the Jim Crow. Who do we rely on?
That is correct. It also doesn't explain, W.B. Du Bois, Thelonious Monk,
right.
Duke Ellington, Carter G. Woodson,
right. These are we come from of greatness.
Jacob Lawrence.
We've come from great people in every.
That is correct.
We have dominated.
That is correct.
We've dominated.
That is correct.
Every field.
It doesn't explain Harriet Tubman.
Right.
It doesn't explain
Charles Drew.
Correct.
L'Enfant.
Correct.
You know, it doesn't. See, this is what I don't understand.
Believe it or not, it doesn't explain Ben Carson still behind.
Right.
But we come from a legacy,
right?
A legacy of overachievers and overcomers.
But when I say dominate,
we have lost that.
We've dominated
somewhere along the road.
Every field.
That is correct.
Not
that
talking
is correct.
about we dominate sports. I'm not talking about
that's
sports.
why they didn't want to let blacks in sports to begin with, because they anticipated that blacks would dominate the sport. Jimmy the Greek said, if you let black quarterbacks in, there'll be no place for white folks to play. We got to keep them out. I swear to God, he said that. He said that.
Yeah.
And
he didn't think anything was wrong with that.
There was a whole lot of truth in this statement. If you let black people in, especially how we were then,
right.
Overachievers, always fighting a system.
We dominated.
That is correct.
We dominate science.
That is correct.
We dominated. We dominated math.
Right.
We dominated every aspect.
Right.
Medical, the medical field.
Correct.
The lawyers. We
correct.
dominated that.
The invention of the cell phone.
Right.
Everything. You pull out. You don't even know where the hell you come. You don't even know you don't know where your bread is buttered.
Right.
Right.
So I don't understand. We come from greatness.
Right.
We come from legacy.
Right.
And somewhere.
Right. Eva Moskowitz, your future does not lie in the hands of Eva Moskowitz.
Right. But there was something lost
Her
in translation.
future lies in your hands.
Right.
She's clocking Dolby.
Because of you.
Right, because she's got people convinced that she's out civilizing your behind.
Right. And that's crazy.
And that's crazy.
The fact that we buy into it is crazy.
Correct.
That is
the crazy
the fact
part.
is that
you know, the crazy
you're trying to convince me. You've convinced me that you're going to make me great.
Right.
But guess what?
Right.
We came from greatness.
Right.
But somewhere it got lost in translation.
It did. It did.
You know,
It is.
I don't understand. It just got lost in translation. So I don't know. How do we get back to that?
Yeah, I'm getting a prompt that Eva did refuse Trump's appointment. Hell yeah, but she's clocking like $2 million right. To get awards for teaching your children.
Like she's doing us a favor.
Correct. I'm not even convinced that your children are learning. The children that she deals with are doing anything actually superior
to just a regular public school, right?
Right. Because, like I said, my grandkids get great grades, but if they want skills, they got to come to Granddad.
Yeah,
Granddad is,
well, you've proved that.
Right.
You've proven that with your grandson.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So, but that's the thing. Just because you have education.
And she is the one who invited Paul Ryan, of all people.
Why?
You know.
I'm trying to figure out, why would she invite Paul Ryan to a school in Harlem?
Yeah.
Can anybody answer that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
And we're running out of time, so I just want to make this point. I want you to really understand the ramifications of Paul Ryan's budget, the healthcare budget. I would say that it's not going to get passed, but I don't know what's going to happen anymore. The world has gone so crazy, you know. And I don't think of Trump as the devil. I think of him worse than the devil. I think of him like the devil's idiot brother.
Petey Weedy Wee Straw.
Right. So he got like fire in one hand, brimstone in the other, but you never know where he's going to throw it.
Right. He doesn't know where he's going to throw it.
He doesn't know where he's going to throw it. But when you talk about the congressional budget, you're talking about a budget that cuts between $600 and $700 million from grants and tax breaks that working class people was getting to pay for health care and giving it to the super rich in tax breaks. You're talking about cutting $800 million to $900 million in funding for Medicaid and Medicaid expansion, taking that out of the Medicaid budget and giving it to tax breaks for the super rich. So when I say that there is a war, an active war, whether you care to believe it or not,
that's right.
And we have to respond to what's coming out of this, or we're going to be swept aside.
Right, because you know what? They're trying to roll us over.
That is correct.
But see, this is what I understand, people. They say this Trump care is better than Obamacare.
Woo.
But Obamacare gave 24 million people health care. Health care, socialized medicine, has worked for everyone in the world.
Well, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. One of the biggest pre-existing conditions that ever existed, and everything is a pre-existing good now, fat kids and pregnant women. But let's look at hepatitis C.
Which is a cure for?
There's a cure for it now. Under Obamacare, a lot of people were able to get cured because they were able to get medical insurance. Right. And you're talking about my generation,
right? Well, baby boomers,
the pig and the pig and the python generation, baby boomers. You're talking about 250,000 people who were cured of hepatitis C.
Right.
Now you're looking at a generation to come, a generation that loves tattoos and loves shooting heroin. A hell of a combination.
Which is going to boast. The hepatitis C.
Correct.
Right.
And the removal of all the health care
pre-existing.
Correct. Right. The health care benefits that allowed them to get quality health care will all be gone. You're looking at a nightmare.
But let me say, see, I think they got it missed. See, hepatitis C and heroin.
Right.
That's an epidemic now in the white community.
And they ain't gonna give you in the white community. And there's a lot of things you can get in the emergency room. You can get Band-Aids, you can get splints, you can get a cast.
But
you can't get Harvoni in the emergency room.
No, you can't.
Your ass is grass.
You know. Hey guys, you know what? Our time is running short. Nat, thank you for letting me host your show, dude. I love being a host. Our dynamics are off the. We don't even practice this.
No.
But guys, I thank everybody for watching 30 Frames a Second. It means a lot to us. We're here to give you the real deal, uncut, raw, and offer you solutions. I want to say this, guys. We'll be back next week. I want to let Nat remember this: shoot for the moon. If you miss, you're still among the stars. Nat, you get the last word.
Well, talk about this a little bit. You got you got a minute.
This is the 6th annual People's Film Festival. It's May 31st through June 4th. I am the master of ceremonies for the 6th year. We're going to have some great movies. June 1st is the red carpet reception where at the Magic Johnson Theater. It's a great, the energy, the movies, the food, the people. It's like Hollywood. It's better than Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And we'll be there. Nat's a co-mastermony.
I'm something. I'm something. He's something. I'm something else.
I love that. It gives us an opportunity to dress up. I like dressing up.
It really does. It really does. You know. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to 30 Frames a Second. We will continue to try to give you the utmost because we do this because we love our community.
Yes, we do.
More than anything else.
And we bring you solutions.
That is correct. And we bring it right from the community itself.
Right. That's exactly right.
Issues that are coming from nowhere. You got a chance to watch and hear Nicholas Haywood in his own words.
Right. That's exactly right. That was,
ain't nobody else give you that.
Hey, look. And that was Nat Wood in the field with the camera.
Handheld, baby.
Handheld.
Peace.
We're out. See you guys next week. Thanks, sir.
Oh, thank you, brother.